Welcome, guys. Here we are, me, Big Boss, and Rain in the Snow doing chapter 4. Alright,
That's right.
so see here how we had like literally 3 seconds, right? So we had the frying pan, so we could have avoided all this.
If you want to live, try using the tool. But remember, use it when you have just enough time remaining. Do it right, and you should be able to survive.
Bruh.
Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, now we have to travel in time. But this could have been all avoided in the very beginning when we had 3 seconds. If we would have used the frying pan, chapter's over. But for the sake of story, we're gonna go 100 years in the past. Ready, man?
Yes.
All right, let's go. And I was talking to Moment about this, and I was like, you know what? We can skip chapter 4 altogether, and that's great if you're trying to do like a speed run. But for story wise, you wanna do this if you wanna uh, have a story. Let me see if I can find one of those orbs. There was one here before. Oh well, let's go.
That was right.
Oh, yes?
Do you work at this museum?
Museum?
What? This building is...
This? This is my home. We've been here for generations. As the descendants of the regional squire. But now... First was my parents. Now my wife. All in such a short time. That leaves just myself and the 2 children in this castle of a house. You're right. It's too large for just the 3 of us. Perhaps it ought to be a museum, just as you say.
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean that as sarcasm. Don't be offended. Actually, I'm grateful for the advice. To tell you the truth, I've been thinking that I should just get rid of this house. Too many memories of my wife to bring me sorrow. But a museum? That's something I hadn't thought of. Maybe a good thing, a museum. Perhaps this is meant to be. There are enough pictures in that collection of my forebears. It seems he had an artist he favored.
You mean Carl Franzen?
Huh, how did you know that? Are you checking into this house? I don't remember telling anyone that it was for sale yet.
No, please don't misunderstand. It's just that I happen to like his paintings, and it's not like, you know...
And he knows
Well,
that because
all
in
right
the
then.
future
I've
there's a
made up
bunch of
my
paintings
mind.
from him.
All right.
I'll turn a part of this building into a private museum and open the collection of paintings to the public. That way I can take care of the children while I work. Besides, I know that there's at least one admirer of Carl Franzen's work. All right, that's what I'll do. I owe you many thanks.
After he almost kicks my
By
eyes,
the way,
man.
allow me to introduce myself, if somewhat belatedly. My name is Alfred Brum.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ike Kush.
I'm grateful to you, Ike. Come inside. We'll have tea or something.
Okay.
It's cool to see that like house evolve from a museum to a house.
Right.
And it was a castle.
See that baby? That's Mr. Eckhart.
Oh, sorry.
He's just gone to sleep, finally.
Good. Now I need you to do something for me, Sibylla. Will you please make tea for our guest?
If I must. Here you go.
Ah, thank you for the tea, dear. Oh yes, I should tell my sweet Sibylla. I've decided to turn this house into a museum. Well, what do you think?
Whatever you decide is always good enough for me.
Thank you. I was a little afraid that you'd object.
Oh, it's much, much better than selling this house.
I see. I'm sorry I made you worry that much. I know. Let's have a photograph taken. If we're going to start a museum, we'll need to renovate. We'll all get a picture taken with the house before then.
I like how everyone's pale and
Please
like
join
black
us,
and
Ike.
white, and then
There's
just
no time like the
And
present.
he is like all color,
I'll
yeah.
fetch the photographer this instant.
Mr. Franson? This early in the morning?
Franson?
Oh yes, he's descended from the painter Carl Franson. Maybe that's why he's a photographer. He's a good friend of mine. I can count on him to come if I need him. Just wait a little while. He'll be here in no time. Sibylla, you hold the fort and watch the baby, please.
Of course.
Sibylla.
Yeah, living with a stranger.
Did you persuade Father not to sell the house?
No, I didn't do anything like that. This is something your father decided on his own.
Oh, I see. I'm just awfully glad that the house won't be sold.
Wouldn't that be so weird? Like,
Oh, it's coming undone
Yeah,
here.
being in somebody else's house is like
Give
whatever,
it to me,
just
I'll
chilling.
mend it for you.
What? No, that's okay.
Don't worry. I may look little, but I can do anything. Well, anything except cooking, that is. See that? That's for Father to wear in the festival coming up. I sewed that too, so don't be shy. Are you cold? If you are, just put that costume over you. I'll be done soon. There. Almost done. You sure look funny.
is that what the dude
It
was
suits
juggling
you.
in?
Let's have
On
the picture
chapter
taken
2?
like that.
Maybe.
All right. Hold still, please.
Remember the picture that he saw on the bum book?
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's weird.
Sorry I dragged you out
And
of
there were
bed.
also pictures of the guy with the white
Thank you to you
dress
too.
on the
You can change
museum.
back now.
The first time that we went to the museum and we're still looking at pictures, I was like, hey dude, look at all these pictures. They're gonna make sense eventually.
That's right.
Imagine
I should go
the
get
dude
changed.
juggling is him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh? I thought you changed already.
What? Oh, not yet.
Listen to what she's saying though.
You carry frying pans around with you?
Oh, that. It's a long story. Excuse me, there's something I have to go do.
He doesn't say skip. I
Come
haven't
again
seen this
soon?
cinematic
Oh,
before.
and, you can use that key as much as you want.
What?
I saw you.
What are you talking about?
What's the matter? You have to go somewhere, right? You shouldn't be late.
Oh, that's right. Okay, see you. No, I should go back to the present from here, where other people can't see me.
Okay, so unfortunately, it's not gonna let us do what I wanted to do, and that is because we already had the frying pan. So it's not gonna let us do. So at the end of the chapter, I'll tell you what I wanted to accomplish that I wasn't able to accomplish it on this one, just because we already had the frying pan.
Right.
Let's see. So we're going. Yeah, it's not giving us. So young Eckert, Margaret, and this is. This is the Margaret. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna let us. All right, so let's just go back to the present, and we have to equip the frying pan real quick.
You carry frying pans with you?
Yeah, you know, if we didn't had it. Okay, so this could have happened in the very beginning. At the very beginning of the chapter, we're right here. Timer starts counting down. We just would have gone over here, use the frying pan. Once again, at the very beginning of the chapter, we would have skipped everything we just saw.
Watch there be a bullet in the frying.
Yeah, I think somebody was trying to stab us or something like that. I think that's where they were going with it.
I guess I managed to escape, thanks to this thing.
But, you know, it ended up being like, what, 12 minutes because we didn't skip the beginning. Would have been even longer what I was trying to do.
This guy here, he looks exactly like the street performer that gave me the message.
You see, that street performer is you. But of course, from a different time.
What does this mean?
It means that you were stabbed to death because you didn't have that frying pan and decided to somehow find a frying pan before the appointed time of death.
By ordering me to get a frying pan before I got attacked?
That's right.
This is making my head spin. For one thing, I don't remember anything like that. And nothing about writing that message in the egg.
I suppose that's true. Fate branches out into many paths, but a person can only choose one of them. And the tracks left on that path wear down grooves that become memories. But what you're doing right now is experiencing just the end result of different forms. If you shift around in your own timeline again and again, this kind of thing is bound to happen. Think about it. If you didn't travel back in time, you shouldn't have any memories other than those of receiving a letter from a mystery man, acquiring a frying pan because of that letter by pure chance, and having your life saved by the same frying pan because of an amazing coincidence. And a chance occurrence of someone who looks exactly like the mystery man being in that photograph. That's all, isn't it? Of course, the odds are rather astounding.
I'm not sure whether I got it all or not.
Now there's no need to force yourself to understand. Things sometimes happen that even I don't understand.
Okay then. What happened to the me that wrote the message in that egg?
I can't tell you, except to say, somewhere on the crossroads of an infinite number of possible outcomes. Well, let's try an analogy. It may seem trivial, but suppose you're in a cafe trying to decide between coffee and tea. The you that chooses coffee after a long deliberation, and the you that chooses tea actually both exist. Except that your feet diverge at that point, and there is no way either of you can ever know what happened to the other one. If we suppose that the you that chose coffee then can't decide whether to put cream in...
I think I get it. So you mean that the Ike who chose coffee caught a peek at the continuation of Ike who chose tea in a way?
Something like that. If you hadn't had a frying pan back then, well then, there would have been a you that found one. Or something like it, at any cost. That's all there is to it. So,
Wow.
I would throw up.
So basically, like I said, we could have avoided this whole thing if we would have used the frying pan at the very beginning. But basically, Homunculus just assuming that you did it by coincidence. She came back and just explained everything because otherwise you would not know. So basically, what I was trying to do, and I've done before, and that's why whenever it shows the cutscene, it didn't say skip because I haven't seen that cutscene. So basically, whenever like you put the stuff on the juggler costume, he's like, dude, I need to get a frying pan, right? So he asked the girl if she has one. The girl said like, no, I don't because I don't cook well. Because remember, she said that she can cook. So she goes like, yeah, but like at the bar they may have some. So you ask for the egg, and then you write down get a frying pan. So then we have to go to the past, whereas chapter 2, we have to go back to the past in chapter 2 to be the juggler, to give the message to Ike, so that Ike can get the frying pan. So when we come back to the present, we already have the frying pan.
Whoa.
Because the one in the past already got it, getting the note.
That's weird.
So since we already had the frying pan, it kind of skip all that. So we are kind of like, if you do it right, you are the first Ike, the one that hasn't experienced anything. But this playthrough, we're kind of like the second Ike, the one that like there was somebody ahead of us that already warned us.
Right.
Now we're like the one, you know how she explained the coffee and the tea, and I was like, well, there's actually two now. Well, whenever I played it the first time, I was the first one, but since we kind of like, okay, let's get the frying pan, it goes to insinuate that we are the second Ike. There's one that is ahead of us, in front of us. So now we're just playing catch up right now.
That's really weird.
But
Dang.
it's like a cool thing because you seen the juggler in the chapter 2, you didn't think nothing of it. And remember whenever the thing was on fire, we went over there, he tosses the egg, and we said like, hey, I get a frying pan, like what the heck is this, right?
Yeah.
So we are like the second Ike, the Ike that took the tea, the Ike that took the coffee is another Ike. So there's somebody else out there in front of us, and we are like the ones in the past, but we're in the present. It makes sense. Like I said, I had to write it down and make a map. It all
Right.
freaking makes sense. So right now we are playing because of the decisions that we made and because we decided to grab the frying pan before, by default, now we turn into the second Ike. Not the first one, but the second one.
Right.
So
That's
that's where we are
cool.
right now, man. Chapter 4.
That was cool. That's.
Yeah, it's gonna get even cooler. You remember how she said like, "Oh yeah, you can use the key anytime,"
Mhm.
and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It's gonna make sense. Everything that you say with the people, with the characters, like everything makes sense. Like it's for a reason. So,
Right.
all right, man. Well, that was chapter 4, man.
Well, we hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notifications button to see when we post the next video.
That's right, man. We're 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 4 more. All right, man. Till next time, man.
Alright, see you guys.